wealth building.
Ta-da.
All right, guys, what's going on? Cody Sperber back again with
Kris Krohn.
Kris Krohn, and this is the second conversation we're about to have about wealth building.
Dude,
now,
I love it. This is such an important conversation.
The last time you brought the heat, and you talked to us about how important it is to go and use real estate as a wealth building vehicle.
Well, I talked about how stupid society is. I talked about how dumb their game plan is. I talked about how you'll be an absolute failure and reject if you follow their game plan.
Yeah,
that's what I remember.
And how important it is to use real estate as wealth building.
Oh yeah, of
vehicle.
course.
Yeah.
And real estate is how you freaking trounce, and like take it out. Trounce is not even a word.
You know, a lot of people already know that. I want to talk about the dark side of owning real estate. I want to get a little nitty gritty, like just get raw and real, and talk about how investors screw this up, because
oh, dude, it happens all the time.
There's a lot of risk when you actually pull the trigger and buy the property.
Dude, Cody, one of the biggest problems that people have is they hop on YouTube, they watch a few videos, and they start the education process, and maybe they read a book or two, and then they just go. And I'm like, hey, I admire that so much, and have someone watching your six, or have someone with some experience or track record that can at least guide the process, because those people are everywhere. And if without that, you're going to probably make one of the top 4 mistakes in buy and hold real estate. There are 4 things
and they're
that take people
avoidable.
down.
They're avoidable,
Totally.
but you have to be educated on what they are. And,
Yeah.
and like you said, it helps if you have somebody in your corner
Yes.
constantly overlooking and making sure you don't make these mistakes.
And today, you've got Cody and Kris in your corner that are here to actually play that role for you. So what we're going to do is we're going to pretend that we're on the angel's shoulder, like kind of on this side over here, not so much like the
I'm going to watch your back.
Yeah, you're going to, wow, there's falsetto there. That's pretty
That was
good.
all I got.
I like it.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So let's talk about the 4 things. Number 1 is biggest mistake I see investors make is they get their hands, Cody, on sucky deals. Meaning they get something substandard. They're so eager to own real estate that they think that you're winning if you own real estate. And it's like, no, you win if you own the right real estate. But if you just say buying a house makes you an investor, that's actually not true.
So many newbies make this mistake because their enthusiasm is off the charts.
Dude,
they see
irrational positivity, which I have most of the time, but
Yes.
not in the game of numbers with real estate.
Yes, and you have to buy based on the math, not off emotions.
Yeah, so for those of you that watched the last video, I gave you a free copy of my book. If you ordered it, it's on its way. And in the book, what I do is I give you a formula for doing single family homes the safest way possible, which, I'm just gonna spoiler alert, I buy my real estate always underneath the median, which in most areas is gonna be buying real estate under $200,000. Because if you buy like a $500,000 home, 1, you're not gonna rent it, positive cash flow, and 2, if the market tanks, you're gonna get spanked a couple $100,000, which most people can't afford to lose. So
yeah, and that's what fills it first is luxury real estate. You know, that's where the price swings are gonna be. But buying a sucky deal, right, literally can ruin the rest of your future potential because it's so hard to rebound from that.
Well, and some people never do. They just have a bad taste in their mouth,
Think
right?
about the market crash, the last housing crash. People over leveraged, and they
and for guys like you and I, were like, dude, kid in a candy shop, let's buy up all we can, right? We were greedy little sons of, and everyone else is like licking their wounds and crying and bleeding, and it's triage. Some people had missing limbs. It's bad.
I waded through that
Body bags.
Bath.
Blood. So don't get your hands on a sucky deal. The opposite would be getting a deal with some equity.
I just picture myself just wading through all the destruction.
And it's morbid. Why am I laughing? That's
wrong. That's horrible.
Dude, let's talk about number 2. Number 2 thing, Cody, that I see people do wrong all the time is that they actually buy in the wrong markets. And if you think about America for a moment, it's cut up between 324 markets. Like, for example, if you're living in New York or Seattle or LA, and you're like, great, the cheapest thing I can buy is like worth more than I'll ever save in my entire life. It's like, that's not a good market to be in, but that's where a lot of people live. Out of 324 markets, however, you get on the opposite, and guess what? There are literally 4 or 5 of the top markets that if you just go in, you're gonna probably add double digits of ROI to your annual return. Which means just being in the right market can automatically add 10 to 15% annual growth to your portfolio.
And you could really look at it like this is a potential growth market and this is a potential cash flow market.
Totally.
So when you're analyzing, if you know what to look for and you understand, just because it's in your backyard doesn't mean it's the right place for you to invest.
Yep.
Right? And what's cool about owning real estate, if you have the right systems and structure and team members, you can own real estate anywhere. My mentor owned real estate in like 20 different states.
Yeah.
And he was able to do it in a self-directed Roth. It was all in a tax-free environment. And he was so creative. He would slice and dice income streams and create notes and all kinds of cool creative stuff. And I would always sit there in amazement watching him create wealth out of thin air.
Yeah.
And it was so cool. But I'm telling you right now, just like the first one, you buy in the wrong market can ruin your real estate career.
Now, one of the things that I kind of set up for Cody here is there's a link at the end of this video. If you go into the description, and on that link, you're actually going to find some sample deals. So we only have so much time today. For those of you that are like, oh my gosh, can you tell me where some of the best markets are today? Yes, we actually have sample properties, pro formas, just to give you more bonus material that will help you understand better what kind of options exist out there.
What's the next one? What's number 3?
Number 3 is people end up doing rehab the wrong way, which means they over rehab the property. You guys probably never, ever talk about that on this channel. Ever.
Yeah, right.
Ever.
When you're new and you buy, let's say, your first property and you buy a little single family house.
It's emotional.
You go in, it's so emotional. All you want to do is make the kitchen as cute as you can
This
be.
is my house.
And if I get that nicer fixture,
I know.
Man, the water's going to pour out of that and people are going to really feel good.
It's crazy. They're like, you paint it the way, like you literally, it's almost like you're getting yourself ready for divorce so you can move into this thing and make it your house. It's not your house.
It's not your house.
It's an investment property. It's not a home. It's a house. There's a difference between a home and a house. A home is a place where you live with your family. A house in the real estate world is an investment, which means, dude, the only rehab you should do is what the market demands of you. Mm-hmm. Like literally, if you pulled comps on 5 similar homes in the neighborhood, how are they fixed up? Do they have granite? No, none of the comps have granite. You shouldn't put in granite either. If they're using Formica, use Formica.
Let me ask you something. Do you ever buy rentals with pools?
Never. Oh, geez, never.
Yeah. Why would you do that? And a lot of the rentals that I owned, I didn't even have grass. It was very low maintenance landscaping. Here in Arizona,
get rid of the expenses.
Get rid of any little expenses that you can. And haven't you found that you use the same materials in the majority of your
if
rentals?
you really systematize a specific area, then you really want to carbon copy this thing. You want to make it all look identical. So yeah, it's the same tile, it's the same paint colors for the area.
All rental grade.
All rental grade. Yeah. So we're never upgrading anything on this.
So don't make that mistake. Don't over rehab a rental property as if you're going to move into it. All right, what's number 4?
And the fourth and final one, so guys, we've talked about don't buy a sucky deal. Sounds like good advice. Number 2 is don't buy in the wrong markets. We got a link below to give you some of the best markets. Number 3, do not over rehab. And number 4 and final, this is the killer with out-of-state real estate investing, which is called getting the wrong property management lined up. Property management, it's one thing to get, let's just say hypothetically that you bought an out-of-state property and it was amazing, like the best of all numbers. And you're like, this is so exciting. I see what this is gonna do for my financial future. And then you go to a property manager, like, okay, we're gonna hold this, we're gonna rent it out. Property manager, go, you've got a good reputation. Here's the truth. That property manager, they don't care about you because you got a property bringing in $1,000, $1,200, $1,300 a month rent. What are they gonna do? Charge you 10% and for $120 a month, you're gonna buy loyalty? Dude, $120 doesn't buy you squat. It buys you luck of the roll of the dice, which basically means if it rents fast, it's not because they were hustling. If it rents fast, it's because that's just when it would have rented. If it rents slow, bottom line is they don't really, I hate to say this, but this is a reality check. They don't care about you. How you really win in the game of real estate is with volume, which means you got to go find a property manager that says you're worth to me more than $120. Imagine for a moment if you did 10 homes, well, now you'd be worth $1,200 a month. Now you're going to start getting their attention. They're going to say, wow, I should take care of this person. And yet,
give a couple of tips. Like one tip that I've always, a rule I've always followed is I never hire the biggest property manager in town nor the littlest. Like I try to find that sweet spot where
there's a mid-grade level where the guys that are too big don't care, and the people that are too small, one of them gets sick and the whole operation shuts down, and they're mom and poppy. Like they're just kind of new to the game and they're still learning it. So yeah, you're absolutely right, Cody. You want to find that middle grade size company and you want to find a way to get attached to bulk real estate. Now you might say, Kris, I'm only in a financial position to do a home. So how could I do that? Well, investors are all about solving problems. On the link on that page down below, you're actually going to see a couple of things. One is you're going to learn about a strategic wealth division that will give you access to the very best deals in the very best markets. And it's a pool of investors, frankly, where collectively we're going out and moving hundreds of properties. So even if you just buy one, you actually get the advantage of the property manager saying, wow, even though you are one home, it feels like you're part of 500 homes. That's just one of those hacks that I've developed that changes the game that's now available to everyone here. So there's a way to do that.
And just to go back to the property manager thing, hidden fees. You pick the wrong property manager and they have a bunch of hidden fees and they start hitting you up for repairs, and next thing you know, they're making money not just on buying the repair item, but also on the call, and then all of a sudden, next thing you know, you're...
Dude, if you do the repair be $120 and all of a sudden you get a $400 invoice.
It's out of control, and it can kill your cash flow situation.
Eliminate it.
That is a massive problem if you pick the wrong property manager. And as far as wealth building, if you guys want to learn a little bit more about partnering with Kris and I, that link down below is going to take you to a page where you can learn about how we've created the perfect long-term wealth building system. Kris here's done over 4,000 deals, which is so impressive. I've owned a ton of rental properties. I own commercial. We know what it takes to avoid these 4 mistakes. And one of the things I respect most about what you've done is you've identified the best markets to go in.
It's about creating shortcuts.
You've done the massive amount of market research. You know the growth markets. You know the cash flow markets. And then you went in and you built massive,
infrastructure
teams. Really a team of experts, over 200 of them, that go in and just dominate the market. You don't have to stress out about the property management. You don't have to stress about the repairs. It's literally turnkey.
Dude, it's amazing. And it's only taking millions of dollars and 15 years to get there. But yes, we waved the magic wand, and today it looks like the most amazing, perfect thingy on the planet. But it definitely came with our own stripes and bruises and figuring it out. And now we've got it cranking well over 20% a year, which is
insanity, because you cannot get that anywhere else, no matter how hard you try. I've never seen it. You're not going to put it in the stock market, without getting really, really lucky, and you're definitely not going to put it in a bank and earn. What are you going to get? -2%, something like that, probably.
Well, listen up, guys. If you really want to have access to a turnkey system and do real estate the more intelligent way, then learn about the partnership that you have available with Cody and myself, and we look forward to sharing that with you.
Cool. We don't have anything else. Hopefully you got something from this. Till next time, I'm Cody Sperber, Clever Investor with
Kris Krohn.
We're out of here. Take care.
Boom.
Comb your hair.